Hello heathens, and welcome to my channel. I am Beauty Heathen, and my channel is dedicated to the exploration of paganism. Sometimes I do readings, sometimes I do demonstrations for ritual work or other aspects of paganism, and sometimes, like today, I delve into the education aspect through the medium of cosmetics. If you are new to my channel, I welcome you and thank you so much for joining us. If you are returning, thank you so much for your continued support. It truly means the world to me. If you feel you would enjoy the subject matter or find my content of interest, please don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and set the bell to all to be notified of when I release new videos. If you're on the fence, feel free to check out my other videos to get a feel of what my channel is like before making a decision. A little tip: if you don't ring the bell, because I am a smaller platform and the way the YouTube algorithm works in favoring larger channels and larger platforms, you may not ever see one of my videos pop up on your timeline. So I do recommend that, especially because I am a small channel. And remember, it is free to subscribe, and your support does help me grow my platform. For anyone who may be new to my channel, there is a reason why I tie in cosmetics and paganism together. It is actually thanks to our early ancient pagan ancestors that we even have cosmetics today. The early ancient Egyptians had actually discovered carmine and crushing up beetles to get red pigment. They also discovered using different plants and like indigo for blue and violet tones, for example, and onion for, I think it's yellow pigment. But even before then, the early humans had been the first to discover how to make paints, and they used to use it for cave painting, and they would adorn their faces in the paints for spiritual purposes, protection if they were going into battle, and so on and so forth. So it just felt like a natural progression to tie the two in together for me. Today's subject matter kind of sort of ties into the video that I posted earlier on magical ethics. So if you have not seen that one yet, I do recommend you might want to start there. It's not required, but it is a suggestion because they do kind of tie in together. Before I start working on the head, I'll go quickly over the products I will or may use in this video. The first being, this came from an Ulta box that was sold at the holidays. Unfortunately, they don't sell it anymore. And it has blushes and highlighters, which is pretty much where I start. I do things out of order here. And I have 3 eyeshadow palettes I might use. I'm going to try the Makeup Revolution Emily Edit palette. If that doesn't work, because these heads do not have human texture or pores or anything of that nature, so sometimes getting cosmetics to work on them can be difficult. I do have 2 other palettes to try to use. One of them I know works, so there's that. For how I've prepped the head already, sprayed the head in hairspray per the instructions to protect the heads from being stained from the colors. Then I did a layer of LA Girl Pro HD foundation in the color Porcelain with Ciate London setting powder and NYX eyeshadow base in the color White. All the cosmetics here I've purchased personally. They've either come to me through buying things from Ulta, sometimes on very rare occasion on Amazon, which I don't think there's anything here with that, and BoxyCharm, subscription that I used to have. So before I get into today's subject matter, because I know I haven't said it yet, I'm going to use the matte nude pink blush and probably the pink highlighter to start. Maybe I'll do the gold. We'll see. So today's subject matter, after that very long-winded introduction, is actually tying in with the magical ethics video where I spoke about being fair and making sure that if you charge people, you do so ethically and fairly, and that paganism, like any field or group, can attract its bad actors or people who are maybe less than on the up and up. Well, ironically, when I was doing the script for that subject, I have a Facebook account, I also have Twitter accounts and all that fun stuff. Something kept getting recommended to me, and when you become part of the community, you know how the phones work and how they spy on what it is you look up and things of that nature to determine what to recommend to you, which I personally find a little bit predatory, but that's neither here nor there. And one thing kept getting recommended to me recently, and that was a school, an online school named Center of Excellence, offering a variety of courses on paganism in different paths and so forth. Now, I want to lead into this with a very clear disclaimer. I have not signed up for any of these courses. I have not ever taken any courses from these people. I do not plan to, but if that's something you would like me to do in order to give a honest review of it, let me know in the comments and I will try to accommodate that request. I am just giving my personal observation, the things that I found out, and my personal opinion on this particular subject matter. Okay, so I just want to put that right out there so I don't get accused of misleading my viewers in any way, shape, or form. I haven't taken the courses. I can't speak on the quality of the content. But one thing that piqued my interest when this popped up on Facebook initially and now on Instagram was they were touting themselves to be accredited. And one thing I have known personally for quite some time is that accreditation can be a very sticky thing to advertise that you are, because you never know what kind of supposed accrediting body it is or if they're actually legitimate. So I went to their site, and if you scroll down, they have many courses, each of which is about 127 pounds because they are based out of the UK. And if you'd have to do the math, go to a currency website. Actually, I'll do that real quick right here. Pounds to dollars. So 127 pounds translates to approximately $160. And it's apparently for a 6-month time period. They say that you can study on your own timeline and do, take things as you will. I think I'm trying to determine if that's even a shimmer. Sorry if I'm flashing light into the screen. It's mainly because I'm trying to determine, is this color a shimmer, and I think it is. So I'll start off with a base combining the cream and Midwest. And it kind of took me aback because I'm like, okay, you're touting yourself to be accredited, but what does that mean considering you're based out of the UK? So I went on their website, and I'm just giving you one of the courses. It says, the Ancient Egyptian Shamanism Diploma course will take you up to 150 hours to complete working from home. There is no time limit for completing this course. It can be studied in your own time at your own pace. Sounds good. This is a level 3 course and will give you 150 CPD, or continued professional development points. Upon completion of your course assessments, you receive 2 certificates. A certified diploma certificate from the Center of Excellence and a CPD certificate displaying the number of CPD points earned from the course. So, all in all, right off the bat, seems pretty legitimate, and I'm sitting here going, but why though? I'll explain what I mean with that in a few moments. Reading on, it says, upon successful completion of this course, learners can also receive a certificate of achievement from ABC Awards and a learner unit summary, which lists the details of all the units the learner has completed as a part of the course. This certificate is optional and costs an extra £15. ABC Awards is a leading national awarding organization regulated by Ofqual. It's OFQUAL, and the Welsh government. It has a long-established reputation for developing and awarding high-quality vocational qualifications across a wide range of industries. This course, and I want to be very clear, has been endorsed under the ABC Awards and CERTA Awards Quality License Scheme. Now, nowhere in any of what I just read does it say that this organization or its content is actually accredited. The area where I had seen that it was accredited was in its advertising, and I think it was in the comments where someone leading their page was responding to somebody, and they said that they were fully accredited and blah 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 blah, which, having some knowledge of what it takes to become certified and accredited, I wasn't quite sure how that would be possible considering the content that they were presenting. It's not like they are presenting the course in such a way that it's meant anthropologically. They are literally advertising this to people who are interested in paganism. It's not like if you were going to university or something of that nature and you took a course in anthropology or a theology course where it's from an actual accredited university. And when I did some delving into ABC awards, everything looked on the up and up. It looks like Oxford University and Cambridge. Is it Cambridge that I saw? Does some work through them. So I'm like, okay, maybe they really are. Maybe they are really legitimate, and I'm just paranoid because the very first course that I had seen this company advertise was a course for a diploma in Wicca. When I saw that, I went, no. No, that is not a thing. It's not like you can go to a school and get a diploma in Wicca and that is going to actually give you anything in the real world other than a, quite honestly, worthless piece of paper that says you have a diploma in Wicca education. It's not like it's part of something that you have to take in order to become a Wiccan or to ascend in any kind of coven, if there is one that you are part of. The initiation rites and everything of that nature with regards to Wicca are part of the actual religion and the process of joining it, not taking an online course. So I hope that made sense. If it didn't, let me know in the comments and I'll try to be clear as to what I mean. So I was intrigued, and the one that popped up on Instagram was the one for ancient Egyptian shamanism. That's another thing that I know, that in order to become a shaman, you actually have to learn from a shaman. You have to go through certain rites, you have to go through certain processes and tests and all that kind of thing assigned by an actual shaman in order to become one yourself. So I'm going, okay, let me bring up the course and let me see what kind of courses they have. Because especially where I'm trying to give people educational content on my own channel, I'm like, maybe this is an opportunity for me to learn other ways and other than the deep diving of the internet that I've been doing, and see if there isn't something that might be helpful. Who knows? You don't know until you start looking into things. So when I go into who would benefit from this course, it says, this course will be of particular interest to you if you'd like to explore and understand the ancient Egyptian shamanism and how it can be used to improve your life and the lives of others. I'm like, It says, if you are interested in history and Egyptology in particular, this course will provide you with greater insight into the culture and beliefs of the ancient Egyptian people. Which still makes me sit here and go, So when I go into the actual modules of the course syllabus, Module 1 is talking about ancient Egyptian shamanism. It goes through an introduction talking about Egyptian shamanism. What is shamanism? Which, interestingly enough, I've actually covered in a video on this channel that you can watch for frickin' free. The revival of ancient Egyptian spirituality in the 19th century, Egyptomania, this feeds into magical ethics, where I've said do not frickin' tamper with things unless you're serious about it, and not just doing it for fad or fun because it will bite you in the ass. Yeah, that is a huge red flag. Part 4, Western occultism and the Kemet movement. And then at the end of this, you get to take a test. Module 1 assessment. Then you go into Module 2, Ancient Egyptian Beliefs, which is cosmology, the deities, understanding the afterlife, and then you get another test. And Group 3, Egyptian mythology, magical texts, rituals and festivals, oracles, magic, and spiritual items, and yet another test. Now, to someone who is new to paganism, this might sound like a fantastic thing to do and a fantastic way to learn about paganism, and it very well may be, but I'm here to really delve into an important note here. Each one of their courses, again, is around $160 US, and they have quite a number of these courses. All of the information and the subjects that I just read off to you are subjects that you can easily obtain yourself for free on the internet or by borrowing books from a library. If you want to buy books, you can. But again, the books that you buy are going to be a hell of a lot cheaper than $160 US. And the way that they present themselves as being recommended by this ABC Awards, they're not accredited and they're not truly affiliated with ABC. I found this out. So going into degreesinfo.com, I was like, okay, let me see what people's experience has been with this group. And before I continue on, I'm actually going to continue applying cosmetics to this face. And I'm planning to use Eve Rose, Belle Violet, and Grateful, and potentially Heartbeat and Cupcake in a wide variety of ways. They're all shimmers, so this is going to be a sparkly look. Someone had posted 2 general distance learning discussions started December 1st of 2019. So it really wasn't that long ago. And the starting question was ABC Awards / off-qual. So people were looking into the legitimacy of this company and this purported agency when it came to their education. And they actually cited Centers for Excellence, and they put down their neuropsychology diploma course. So this one isn't one that is affiliated with paganism, and if you were going to an actual university, could potentially be on the route to earning an actual degree. Okay? And they cited pretty similar to what I had read off, and said, say upon completion of this course you can receive a certificate OA achievement from ABC Awards and a learner summary. It says it is regulated by Ofqual and the Welsh Government. Is this a form of accreditation? What is ABC Awards and Ofqual? And are the courses of the Center of Excellence accredited in England and useful in the USA? Thanks in advance to anyone with knowledge about this. And here comes the tea. I gotta take a drink of water for this one, because this is where I get irritated. First person responds and says no. The course only has the endorsement of ABC Awards as part of the quality license scheme. That's not the same thing as a regulated qualification of ABC Awards. Their accredited awards are listed here, and they give the government listing for the UK. If this was a regulated qualification of ABC Awards, it would be a form of accreditation. However, the listed diploma does not qualify since it only got an endorsement from the organization. As for Ofqual, you can read more about them here, and it goes to the gov.uk/government/organization/Ofqual/about website. I will actually link that down below in the comments so that you can see that yourself. And I'll try to do so with this link that I'm currently referencing as well, so you have that information too. And someone else replied, and who was a moderator of this site apparently, replies and says, at first glance, any course they offer looks just like a standard MOOC, which I'm going to guess, but I will look up at some point, and if I'm wrong, I'll put it in the comments or edit it here, that an MOOC, I'm going to guess, is an accredited course. And it says Ofqual is a British governmental department. I didn't check further than that. The course is probably okay. It's not clear that it carries credits or if they transfer anywhere, such as to a accredited college or university. My guess is that the course is akin to something you'd find on edX or Coursera, which I'm going to guess would be similar to credit-free courses, similar to what we have here in the United States. If you were going to take courses from, say, a community college that aren't actually presented by the college, but as part of their credit-free courses that are generally presented by people outside of the college. And she said maybe someone knows more. The next person said they cited the actual information from the Center of Excellence website, and it says the successful completion of an approved course alone does not lead to an Ofqual regulated qualification, but may be used as evidence of knowledge and skills gained. The learner unit, if you wish to progress your studies in this subject. The learner unit summary, which lists the components the learner has completed as part of the course may be used as evidence towards recognition of prior learning if you wish to progress your studies in this subject. To this end, the learning outcomes of each course have been benchmarked at level 3 or 4 against level descriptors published by Ofqual to indicate the depth of study and level of demand/complexity involved in successful completion by the learner. And this isn't coming out quite like I'd want. Let me see if applying with the fingers works any better. Actually, maybe I'll just keep working at it. Try to get more pigment on the eyeshadow and see if it doesn't work a little bit better. Looks like it's pulling off the eyeshadow base a little bit there. Sorry about that. Like I said, some days these heads just don't want to cooperate as well as others. So, going on to the next responder. They said, you are entering the non-academic realm here. Ofqual is responsible for the regulation of approved awards that may be funded by state money. To offer a qualification from a secondary school to master's, but non-university awarded that relies on government money, you have to have this. You do not legally have to have it to offer qualifications through, and there is a huge argument here due to some universities refusing to accept non-Ofqual awards as they are not regulated. In UK terms, all regulated means is that they meet specific criteria to be paid for by public sector funding. So, try to wrap your brain around that. That means basically that if they meet a certain standard, it just means that Ofqual will, or the government will in some way support the agency or the school, I guess. Some awards are not worth that, and plenty of bodies have it withdrawn, while several have refused to apply. Interestingly, Oxford and Cambridge tend to ignore this anyway. Under UK law, the only qualification you require government approval to offer is actual degrees. And the moderator responded back and said, okay, that's easy enough to understand. My next question would be, how is this viewed on the job market? Does this have any value for employers? Am I going to get a raise or a promotion if I go that route? The lovely complexity of online learning. And someone replied and said, confusing. The only people who gets hurt are the students. In situations like these, poorer students. The water gets pretty muddy, at least murky, with the many quasi-legitimate lower-level programs. Many of the experts on DI have used terms like laundering in moving courses from these unaccredited quasi-legitimate bodies to accredited institutions. Truly, unless one is an expert in this shenanigans, it is wise to recommend these sort of arrangements to is it wise to recommend these sort of arrangements to upcoming students? Shouldn't a real community college or cheap government institution be the best choice? And Therein lies the tea. So you have a company who is offering courses touting themselves to be recommended or suggested by these agencies and these schools, only for it to come out that they're not even really regulated or overseen the way that they should be. I'm going to try heartburn. I'm going to try a different brush, see if I can get a little bit more pigment and maybe a little bit of luck with this. I'm going to use a very light, delicate hand, especially where the rest of the colors haven't come off as I would have liked. Try to cover up the bald spot. Hey! Try to make this look less messy and more like an actual look. We'll see. So, these are the kinds of things that I meant when I said that you have to be careful where you seek your information from. Now, I'm not saying that this agency doesn't necessarily have accurate information. I'm just saying that if this is something that you're interested in learning, there are other ways that you can go about it. If you are looking for an actual degree per se, you may want to look into a community college in your area that may offer these classes, or even free credit courses. They may not give you a degree, but they can give you the same amount of information. And they'll be less predatory than these agencies who tout themselves as if they are the I Ching of excellent educational content when they're not even really accredited. Okay, this brush is working much, much better. So, when it comes to learning about different pagan groups or resources, be careful where you're getting your information from. I guarantee there are likely other YouTubers that have the same content and information that these people are trying to charge you $127 to learn. And all you get at the end of it is a useless piece of paper that does nothing for you. It doesn't benefit your life in any way. It doesn't give you a raise or anything that is going to bring actual fulfillment to your life. All it is a company looking for their own pockets and bottom dollar. So, when I saw this company being advertised, I really felt the need to do more digging on it, and I had like 3 or 4 different subjects I was tempted to cover today, and this one popped up again, and I started doing digging, and I'm like, no, I can't keep quiet about this. I really can't. I have to speak up on this, because there's going to be people who are going to fall for this, and it's really not okay, and it's predatory, especially for people who are wanting to learn and may be desperate to do so. And this is a time when $127 can, as I've said in other videos, be the difference between feeding your family and not. I'm actually pleasantly surprised and happy with that. I may have to get more of this type of brush because that seemed to work better on these heads. Just just move that out of the way because I don't want them to have a white powdery mess everywhere. I'm just trying to move things to the side. And let me do the lips. I'm going to use the Gerard Cosmetics lip color in Mai Tai on the lips to finish off the look. So my main message in this is please, please, please be careful. If you don't want to take the time to research something yourself, if you really want the in-depth information and the educational content of different pantheons or different subjects, I am planning to cover these things anyway on my channel eventually. But if there's anything you would like me to put a priority on that you really want to learn it now versus later, all you have to do is let me know in the comments or reach out to me on any of my social media platforms, be it Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter, and I will do my best to prioritize that content in a faster way so that you have that information that you want to learn. And this way, you don't have someone trying to extort $127 out of you to get it, you know? And again, I am not saying that this company is not legitimate. They have some recognition from the Welsh government and so on and so forth, but I would be remiss if I didn't advise against it because it's to me a waste of money, and I feel really bad for any of the people who are falling for this and taking their classes. I know I saw some people on Facebook comment that they were taking the classes and learning a lot more than they had known already, and I'm just like, but you didn't have to. Any pagan page or any pagan group with their salt would be advising you against doing this because it's a waste of money. And I just couldn't keep quiet about it. So anyway, I hope this video has imparted some knowledge on this subject and watching out for and being mindful of bad actors. This is the look for today. Didn't come out quite as I'd hoped, but could have been a lot worse, and I've done a lot worse. And perhaps to some degree, I hope I've given some better insight and the importance of really deep diving and doing your research when it comes to people advertising this type of content or subjects that may be predatorily recommended by some computer algorithm simply because you're interested in a subject. If you enjoyed this video and wish to have more like it, please be sure to let me know in the comments below, and don't be shy. I promise I won't bite. If there's any subjects you would like me to cover that I haven't done so already, please also let me know as well, and I will do my best to cover them as soon as possible. And with all of that said, until next time, I wish you the brightest of blessings, and blessed be.